Today, we're going to be playing one of my favorite spin-off games from the WWE series. WWE All-Stars combines a arcadey, cartoony style action game with professional wrestling, and it is just one of the best games ever made. So let's dive straight into WWE All-Stars. This is a dream match for many, and I mean, really, this is the whole point of the game. This is to fulfill dream matches, of course. This is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus the Straight Edge CM Punk. Full disclosure, I have completely forgotten how to play this game. Of course, anytime I play these games for the retrospective series, I can never remember the controls unless it is, of course, like the modern games. So we'll need to work our way through the grappling system here. But yes, A to... I've also got the game tips to help me there, actually. But yes, it is A to grapple. So we can do a gut-wrench suplex, evidently. But I guess from a grappling position, you can also do strikes there. I don't know what the B button does. I think B is maybe your strong grapple. So then from then, you can do a different type of gut-wrench suplex, which is a bit more of a neck-breaker situation. Yeah, so you get a quick strike with the... this is on Xbox controller. With the X button you can do a quick strike, and then with the Y button you can do a bit more of a strong attack. So RB is going to be your reversal button, and that is going to be a timing based reversal system as well. And if you press two buttons at the same time, you can trigger a signature move, which is what I actually just tried to do there, but it kind of failed. So if we do it again here, we'll trigger a signature move, and you're going to see this is one of Austin's signature moves, apparently. A big delayed front suplex, which I don't think I've ever seen him do. Maybe part of the Ringmaster. And then we can do other combos here, so we'll do another one, which is going to be a huge flapjack situation into the ropes, maybe? That was pretty badass. And then if we lift him up, we can do... if we press both buttons at the same time, we will trigger a finisher, but I've screwed it up, so we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board in that one. The health bar is fairly self-explanatory. You have a standard health system there, green into yellow. You can do grapple systems out of the air. You can run with the right trigger as well, which is good. I didn't know you could do that. The boxes that fill underneath your name, they are your signature meter bar thing as well. So the more of them you fill up, the more signatures you can do. Obviously now Punk has two of them, and I've only got one, but I can do another. So we can trigger another... we're going for an SDF. I don't want to make him tap. I actually really don't want to make him tap. But we can do this into another... I mean, it is a flapjack on the ropes. It is, so he's going to bounce off of there. I can trigger the... I'm going to do my finishing... Oh, he keeps hitting me out of the finishers, so... Punk with a signature... I forget what that's called, but that's a sick move. I'm not doing well here, guys. Here we go, one more. There we are. We finally triggered the Stone Cold Stunner. And this game utilizes KO finishes as well. So if your opponent's at a low health and you hit a finisher, you win by KO, and it plays this cool animation here where you get the 3 count. And then it goes into the character's ending pose. Yeah, this game's cool as fuck, and I love it so much. And at the end of it here, you get a ranking system based on the amount of offense you do, defense you do, and technique. I think technique goes into like how many moves that you do. So we can have a really quick look at the menu here. We have the Exhibition, Xbox Live, Path of Champions, Fantasy Warfare, Create a Superstar, Options, Extras, and DLC. So going through these, your Exhibition is exactly what it sounds like. It's just standard match types. There are only a few to choose from, unfortunately. This game only has... Unfortunately, because of how different it plays, there is only so many match types that you can play. The Steel Cage is very fun, but it would have been cool to have something like Hell in a Cell or, I don't know, Last Man Standing or some other variation here, but you really have the basis of just enough to get by. Xbox Live is where you'll be able to have online matches with friends, but obviously it's offline now. Path of Champions is kind of your traditional storyline. You play through different champions and you play through the storylines that are associated with those champions, and it's a very unique way of telling a story because there are actually voice cutscenes with the exaggerated character models. I think ultimately at the end you face I don't know how it works actually. We need to play it sometime on a season mode Sunday. I don't want to play it just now though. Fantasy Warfare is also a list of generated fantasy, not generated, sorry, there's a list of curated, is a better word to say, fantasy matches. So here we have Sheamus versus the Ultimate Warrior. There are, I think there's one here that might be like Macho Man and Rey Mysterio. There's a whole bunch of other ones. Obviously, I gotta guess they're locked because I haven't done the first one, right? But in here, you can see some fantasy matches that are pretty much what we just put on, right? It's going to be like Austin and Punk, and then you've got Rock and, I don't know, Miz or something. I can't remember who's in the game. There's also a Create a Superstar, but it isn't overly in-depth. It's pretty simple, but it really has like just the basics of what you would need to create a superstar. I don't remember there being that many online communities that were creating characters at this time, so I couldn't tell you if there was a big market of creating formulas for these characters. I wasn't around at the time. In the extras menu, you can view your achievements and credits, which is great, but ultimately pointless because the credits could just be in the options and the achievements are already built into the system. And then you've got the DLC, which I can't click because the servers are offline, but I do have a subset of DLC available, so we'll talk about that shortly. In fact, talk about that right now because we're going to go into the roster. So looking at the roster, it's not a huge roster, but the people that are here I think are a really good curated list of people. So you have access to Hogan, Brett, Savage, Steamboat, Austin, Piper, Jake the Snake Roberts, Ultimate Warrior, Andre the Giant with the big old dome, and then you've got The Rock here as well, and then that's all on the Legend side. But then if we move over to the current roster side, the current roster being 2011, what was it, 2011, 2010, 2011? Then we're talking about Triple H, Big Show, Sheamus, John Morrison, Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, The Undertaker, Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, and John Cena. Very, very cool. You can also, on the Legend side there, I don't want to click it because it crashed my game last time, but if you go into the Create Superstars, you can see a list of all your Create Superstars. But if you go here into this icon, this is the downloaded section, so you can see some of the downloaded characters that I have available. So we have Hawk, Animal, the Legion of Doom, Jerry the King Lawler, who's looking very Memphis. We have a version of Chris Jericho here. We have a modern version of Chris Jericho, I should say. We have R-Truth, Ted DiBiase Sr., Ted DiBiase Jr., Michael P.S. Hayes, the Big Boss Man, and the final person is Mark Henry. I know that there are other DLCs as well, things like Honky Tonk Man, I think. So yeah, there's a few other DLCs I think I just haven't unlocked or I don't have access to. There are obviously people you can also unlock. So as you can see here, there are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people you can unlock through the game as well. I don't know who they are, so let's have a quick Google search. Oh yeah, so there's DLC for, I think the only DLC I might be missing then is Cody Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes, and Honky Tonk Man. They're the only DLCs that I'm missing. As for these locked characters, I think one is The Miz, one is Jack Swagger, another one is Kane, Edge, and Drew McIntyre. As for the Legends, we're looking at Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, Sergeant Slaughter, Mr. Perfect, and Jimmy Snuka. Shawn Michaels being a locked character, that is kind of insane. But really, that is the whole game. There isn't really much to talk about All-Stars, so instead of looking at menus and talking about stats, let's just dive into more matches. This is a Legends-filled Fatal 4-Way match here. So we have, I'm playing as John Cena, and we have The Rock. Oh God, who else? We have Triple H, we have Randy Savage. I'm getting my ass kicked, God help us. Okay, so it's right thumbstick to choose who you are looking at as well. In terms of moves, I kind of don't know how you trigger different moves. I guess you can maybe try, are you holding the button? Does that do different? Seems like it's based on, I don't know what it's based on. There is also different grapple options here. So like B will be a strong grapple, I presume. We're going to go for John Cena's doing a suplex of some kind. Yeah, another jumping suplex. This is awesome, man. This game is so fun. I don't know how you submit people by smashing the buttons, apparently. You can also, yeah, you can see from Macho Man there, you can actually juggle people in the air as well. So there's lots of different options to do attacks. There are also some moves that feed into others as well. So there's a really good combo system if you can figure out the perfect time to be like pressing the buttons. The thing is, personally don't remember all the buttons. As Cena goes for the patented back suplex there, which is awesome. I'm going to try and go for a finisher though. Oh, and Macho stopped me. That's unfortunate. I need to be careful not to spam buttons as well, because the control system in terms of reversals is very, very picky. If you press any other button, oh my god, I'm getting juggled. If you press any other button instead of reversal, you will fail the reversal. So it's just something to bear in mind. I'm going to try and go for an attitude adjustment. Macho tried to stop me and he wasn't able to, but that's not going to be a knockout. But we can maybe try and go for a pinfall. I can also extend the bar there by mashing the button, and we get the pinfall on Savage there, which I wasn't expecting, honestly. But one attitude adjustment was enough to beat the crouch chant Cena there. Yeah, I'm not very good at reversals, but the offense is good. And the technique's meh. There's only so many matches you can choose from, and it's really hard to commentate over this game because of how fast-paced it is. Well, that is your experience of a Fatal 4-Way match, but let's dive into our last match of the video, a steel cage match. I have opted to play as the Undertaker here. He's got insane shoulders. I cannot grapple Jericho. But yes, our opponent here is Jericho, one part of the DLC characters. And this is a steel cage match here on SmackDown. Again, as mentioned, this game can be really hard to commentate over just because of how fast-paced everything is. And again, I don't really know the controls very well, so that probably doesn't help either. But I'm gonna try and do some more moves here, because I don't know how you trigger different move types. It seems like there's literally just like 3 moves. Okay, that was pretty sick. There was like 3 moves per grapple. Again, you need to be really careful about what buttons you press, because if you press even like, I was pressing Y there because I thought I'd actually grappled him, but yeah, if you press any other button other than the reversal button, then it will trigger that as a reversal attempt, and then you won't be able to press the reversal button, which is incredibly annoying. Is that going to be a choke? Oh my god, choke slam. Not only a choke slam, a spinning choke slam, no less. We have 3 signature moves. I've just wasted half of my bar there trying to do that one, but this is going to be another choke slam, a legitimate choke slam, no less. And we're going to throw him 20 feet in the air and bring him down on the side of his hip, which is also pretty insane, actually. Press the wrong button, that's my bad. This is going to be the last ride, I presume. Again, going to pick him up for an insane, oh my god, you literally I could have thrown him out of the cage. This game is insane. Okay, it's about time that we try and trigger I'm assuming it's going to be a tombstone. I can only assume that's going to be his finisher as we load him up on the shoulder. Are we going to do like a backflip or something? No, we're just going to jump 20 feet in the air. It didn't trigger a knockout though, and I don't know how to get out the cage. Oh, so this is X Division. Oh, I didn't know what button to press. I probably should say that this game does have history with the TNA Impact game, which sounds really bizarre. But no, this game is actually built on top of the TNA Impact game engine, and as a result, it shares a lot of similarities. This is essentially what TNA Impact, or a sequel to TNA Impact, would have been. And that's kind of why I say there that this would have been, that's why I said that looked like Ultimate X. So if we get this one more time, I think we've just escaped. There we are, we have cage matches. They're stressful in any game that you'd play them in. Well, that's going to be it for WWE All-Star. It's going to be a nice, short and sweet one today because there really isn't much to talk about. It's just an insanely fun game. But if you do want to see some of the Path of the Champions of Fantasy Warfare, then look out for my Sunday series where we play through season modes in other WWE games, because All-Stars is definitely one that I want to play very, very soon. With that being said, if you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing because it helps push the channel and helps us grow. That's going to be us for today. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.